Welcome to episode 1 of Project Fifth Element Police Car. In this episode, we're taking this full set of kit parts, which you can see in full detail in my introduction video linked in the description, and trimming, assembling, and attaching to a Panavice mount. We'll also lay down the base colors. Vinyl decals are applied at the 12-minute mark. In episode 2, we'll weather the entire model and install the electronic features. I'll be demonstrating how to install off-the-shelf LED sets to create this dazzling display, which really brings this model into epic status. Let's go ahead and get started. So I'm not going to review all the parts. If you saw my previous intro video to this, you saw me kind of go over all these pieces. You'll see them all in detail anyways, but this is what it all looks like. I'm going to go ahead and start this. I'm figuring this will take me about 2 days to build this. I'm giving myself 2 days. And we are going to start by trimming these fiberglass panels, this bottom pan and the top hull. We are trimming down to get rid of that lip all the way around the body. And where it meets here, we're trimming this lip off. This will take us about maybe 3 or 4 minutes on the belt sander. Alright, after that trim, I am lining up really well in the back. I'm lining up really well in the front. I got a little excited, and you might too when you're trimming this, and there's a little bit of a gap here. It's a gap from about there to there on that side and a little bit on the other side, and we remedy that. We close that gap up using a trick I taught you guys in my Corbin taxi tutorial, and that involves coating the bottom pan with blue painter's tape and using Bondo, just stippled on and pushed in and then sanded flush. I'll show you that right now. I forgot to mention that I also have tape holding the top hole to the bottom pan. As this Bondo starts to gel up, I can grab a sharp sculpting tool and redefine those panel lines just so they continue all the way to the bottom. Now with that Bondo cured, it's been about 15 minutes, I can separate these two halves. It should come apart really easily. Okay, and now we just remove the painter's tape and we sand this flush. If you can see this, we sand that flush. Okay, we can see here now that the top fits very flushly to the bottom pan. There might be just a little bit more touch-up to do, just sanding everything flush, but you can see how that just closes that gap up. I'm going to go ahead and glue these jet nozzles in place on the bottom pan. A little bit of CA. A little spray kicker on the nozzle. Off camera. I'm painting the front 3D printed nozzle assembly and the bottom pan silver. Duplicolor chrome. Just like my Fifth Element taxi build, I'm using a Panavice mount. This is about $19 on Amazon. This base now can pan, tilt, pitch, and yaw. Beautiful base. You gotta use it. But today I plan on hollowing out all of these headlights, all of these side running lights, all of the rear openings, these long strips. So that should be really easy, and I also plan on hollowing out these side windows. Even though I'm not building an interior for this, you'll be able to see in there a little bit. And those will be super easy to trim, because if you can see, they're cast very thin, extremely thin, so very easy to trim out. And then these guys all will be really easy to trim out, so we can install our strip LEDs. Trimming all those headlights out, you want to switch to a smaller sanding cone like this on your Dremel. And then to finish these, need a little fine tuning with a file and sandpaper just to get nice clean edges. So I want to do a little bit of light blocking before I start painting this whole blue. I'm doing this with fabric paint. This is Tulip Color Shot Instant Fabric Color. You can use any color. I've got black. I think I have some white too, in case I run out. But I am going to be spraying the insides of these to prevent light bleed. This takes a couple coats. This goes on really thick. Light block accomplished. Today's paint selection is Tamiya XF8 flat blue and XF2 flat white, mixed down with a little bit of isopropyl alcohol to thin it down. And let's go. You have these two rear windshield fins, same color blue. Let's address these windows before we get to the lens covers. I've got some smoked clear plastic. Those are going to go behind these windows. And then these laser cut screens with a little spray 77 applied to one side will fit the windshield. It's got a little bit of a curve to fit really nice. And the back windshield comes with this guy. Just a quick spray. Lay down one side. Curve it up. Press it on. Done. Windshield fins. Smaller one goes upper quadrant. Larger one down below it with just a little bit of that screen showing underneath. I'm going to start that by spraying a little spray kicker onto that screen. I'll start with the upper first. I've got a little strip of CA glue. I'm just going to dip this lower fin into just that bottom edge. And then that's going to place right here. Okay. There's that one. And that spray kicker will immediately bond it. There you go. The windshield frame is going to be a medium gray. And just like I showed you before with that spray kicker, you'll glue it right into place like this. Now, the miniature, I think I explained this before in my demo video, but the miniature has the screens, has the frame just like this. Edge all the way up to the top. The live size prop that they built for the actors to interact with has the frame halfway down. So all you need to do is just trim off those bottom struts and install it halfway. I'm doing mine like the filming miniature, so it's full size. And there's a gap down below, there's a bigger back gap up above. And I'm going to place this right where it needs to be. Right there. Perfect. Press it down. Lift that transfer tape up. Do it nice and slow so everything stays behind. There you go. This font is a little weird. The P I know is a little weird, but that's how it is in the movie. And you can always kind of set it on and see how it looks. Might want to go a little bit lower. That looks right to me. Beautiful. All the artwork is in place. Most of the details are on. Time to address the light covers. The other rectangular lenses are laser cut, so they're obviously flat, translucent acrylic. They need to curve just a tiniest little amount to fit the curvature of the bumper. So I'm just going to heat these with a hot air gun. You could use a hairdryer if you wanted to. Slight amount of heat, and just curve them. I'm brushing on a little bit more of that clear Elmer's glue. This stuff is dirt cheap at your local Target or Walmart. And that'll do it. So we have our white and red lens. And then we've got all of our red ones installed. Let's go ahead and start in on the light bar that sits on the roof. I am going to apply a little CA glue. Actually, let me do it this way. So CA glue goes here. And this detail panel lives right here. Very simply, these two clear parts glue together. You can see where they match up right there. There's a little notch here at the top. So you notice that notch at the top. This is where that lives. And then I've got two red pieces that go on the side. I'm not worried about that just yet. What I want to do is light block this. These are blue lights on this side and this side. So I need to tint this blue a little bit. I thought I was taping, but I was not. So in order to tint these blue, because the lights are blue inside here, you can use blue paint mixed with a whole lot of isopropyl alcohol. Sprayed on there, translucent. Or I've got some of this on hand. This is Tamiya Clear Blue TS72. And very lightly, in a few different coats, I just want to tint this area on both sides blue. Here's the main structure for the light bar. I've got the ends blocked off. We'll be light blocking that. And then these are the four white lights that sit atop that whole bar. I only want to see light through the front. So what I've got set up here is carpet tape, double-sided carpet tape on a piece of wood. And I'm just going to lay these down and use that light blocking paint to get these guys light blocked, so I'll only see light through one side. 2 coats usually does it. Let's paint these their final color. I'm using metallic aluminum from Rust-Oleum. I don't want it super chromy. It's a little bit duller silver. So I still have all that masking on. I'm really looking forward to seeing how this looks unmasked. Here's the light bar with the translucent blue, the translucent red. The top beam has the translucent rectangles, and you'll see that there's a little slot on the top. I designed in a little slot for that, just to glue right down in there. That does it for assembly. Let's go ahead and weather this. This concludes Episode 1 of Project Fifth Element Cop Car. In Episode 2, I share with you all my tips and tricks for weathering and installing the lighting effects. Click subscribe to be notified when new material goes live, and share with your friends if you find this content useful. Thanks for watching.